Hey, it's ODB, the Lincoln Addict, also known as ODB from OLP. I am going to try this live stream a second time. I had a couple of good kinfolk. They chimed in a moment ago. They said they couldn't hear me. Not sure why. I did test it before I started. I did test it again. So hopefully it's going to work. Some of you will see this after the fact, but I'll try to do more of this content as time goes on. But hopefully everybody can hear me. I haven't seen anybody jump in yet, but my little indicator showing me that the audio is working. Um, what I wanted to do is basically talk to everybody about our cruise. It's an annual cruise this weekend in Tampa. It's a sixth annual cruise. And what I want to do is just go through the details briefly. I want to thank Tony for being a part of it. He's kind of got his Death Row Lincolns, that whole brand. And hopefully, if you're seeing this, let me know if you can hear the audio. I guess I had an issue a moment ago. Someone reported, so thank you. But what I wanted to do is just go through, just to let everybody know what we're looking at this weekend. If you're in the Tampa area, or if you're at all interested in Lincolns, just know that it's open to all makes and models. We're also going to um, basically be showing some of this as we go. Like we'll go live at some of these spots, so you can follow Lincoln Addict, and that's probably where I'll go live on that Instagram and Facebook. But we started it about 5 years ago. This is the sixth annual cruise. It's open to all makes and models, so anybody can participate. We often see people that will say, oh, that they think it's just Lincoln's, and it's not. But I could see why people think that. It's open to everyone. JFK was here 60 years ago on 11/18/63. Of course, unfortunately, he had a trip after that. After he went back to Washington, and then he went to Dallas, Houston, and then Dallas. And we'd all know what happened there. But we kind of commemorate the fact that he was here in Tampa. There is a marker. Also, Kennedy Boulevard was renamed, so there are those connections. But the main connection is Lincoln's. He liked Lincoln's. The presidential limo was Lincoln's, and that's kind of where the tie-in. So, not to go too much into that. Um, the new thing for 2023 is we're going to go to Rides by the River in the morning. Rides by the River is basically like a Cars and Coffee. Some of the folks that own these different spots downtown, they've done a great job of really getting people out to the Tampa area, especially in the mornings. And there's the River Walk, and then there's Armature Works. So we're going to actually go there at as early as 7:30. It starts from 8 to 11. But if you want to join us, or you know anybody around the Tampa area, that's open to everyone. That's also the third Saturday every month. So that's just every single month we're going to happen to go to it. We're going to leave there, and we're going to go over to Dick's Sporting Goods. The official meetup time is at 10. So anyone that wants to come out, and maybe you want to check out the cars for a couple hours, hour and a half or so, and then you want to leave, that's fine. But basically 10 a.m. we meet up. About 11:30 we leave the parking lot. We're going to go over to the University of Tampa is our first main stop. That school's been there a very long time. There's a lot of history there. That's where the JFK statue is. And we're going to, that's a good photo op. So we'll be taking photos and things like that. After we leave there, we're going to go down Bayshore Boulevard. For a long time, that was the longest continuous sidewalk, I think, in the world. It's an awesome spot. And, there's people out there running, bicycling, all that stuff. Well, we cruise all the way down Bayshore Boulevard. We pass Ballast Point Park. We don't pull in there because they don't really have a turnaround spot. And then what we're going to do is basically circle around, and then we'll cruise pretty slow all the way back down towards Tampa. We're going to get to the Tampa postcard mural. And after that, we're going to have some VIP parking down back at Armature Works. That's where we'll have lunch for anybody that wants to come out. But again, just to be brief in kind of this overview, this photo here, this is the Rides by the River. This is the parking lot we always park in behind these two Lincolns. There's like a ton of the higher end stuff, the exotic cars and things like that. To park over in that area, you have to register and be approved. We never go through that process. We just park in the main parking lot, which is here. if you want to come down to Rides by the River Saturday morning, just know you'll see the Lincolns there. I'm expecting not everyone to participate because it's kind of early, and most people are going to just want to get ready for the cruise. This is the meetup spot. So Dick's Sporting Goods, as I mentioned, we had a great spot across the street, which was the Lincoln Center. You would think that they would allow for us to want to meet up there, but when I tagged that location one time, they got a notification and they quickly said they're not allowing any of us to even pull in that parking lot. So we basically migrated across the street to Dick's Sporting Goods. This is a good spot because it gives about an hour and a half for people to meet each other, check out the cars. The kids usually will run in. There's a Chick-fil-A in there. There's coffee spots inside. That it's basically a mall that's been there a long time. You can see the overhead photo that wasn't from a drone. There's a parking garage. So typically someone will walk or take an elevator up there and get a couple of photos from above. We've had 20 to 25 people participate at the beginning in terms of meeting up. We've had 10, 15 Lincolns before. Typically it's going to be, I would say 20 to 30 vehicles is going to be on the high end. We do promote it throughout the year, so I think there's going to be potentially more people this year. You can see here, this is the University of Tampa. So we park all the cars here. We've never had issues. Everybody likes to come out and check out the cars. And then you can see here the JFK marker behind us. We usually take a group photo. Here you can see JFK. Actually, this is the motorcade coming down. At the time, it was Lafayette. It was later renamed to Kennedy Boulevard. But this little shack, it's kind of hard to see probably, but this little shack right here is the same shack that we park in front of. I call it a shack. It was like a guard desk or whatever. But bottom line, it's a good opportunity. Everybody that's participated for the last 5 years, they say they enjoy it. We've had mini trucks. We've had other non-Lincolns, and those people enjoy it as well. We're going to pass Ballast Point. It's kind of ironic. Shout out to our friends and kinfolk, the Raddies out in California. They would always go to a Ballast Point over there, like a brewery. We actually have a Ballast Point park. And when we pass this park, we all kind of pull to the side. And typically we might have, like I said, 10, 15, 20 cars. So we'll kind of make sure everybody's still grouped together before we take the trek back down Bayshore Boulevard. And if you've never driven down this road, man, we just cruised down it, my wife and I, last week, doing some recon for this event. And man, it's awesome. It's 2 lanes each way, and we'll cruise down. We're going to go a little slower. I've gotten feedback. I typically will, be leading the pack, and I'll kind of go a little faster than I anticipate. So we're going to go all the way back down Bayshore towards downtown. And one of the changes that we're going to do this year, which is a simple change, is we're going to go down Franklin Street. So if you look at this photo here, I know exactly where this photo was taken, and I've replicated this one in the past as well. These were taken very close to each other, but this is on Franklin Street. And so what'll happen is when we come back downtown, we'll go down Kennedy for a moment, and then we'll turn on Franklin Street, which is where these photos were taken. And that's going to take us right to the Tampa postcard mural. So this is kind of a tourist destination spot, if you will, where, it's a good photo op. Typically on Saturday, there's not a lot of people out here, knock on wood. And we just pull the cars here. We kind of rearrange them. We take our photos. We hang out a little bit. And then once that's finished, we'll turn here, and then we'll go back down to Armature Works, which is kind of where some of us are going to start if we make Rides by the River. And we're going to have these VIP spots again. One of the guys that has participated in the cruise, he is Sound Waves of Tampa Bay, I think is his business name. They've been around a long time. They're friends with the guy that owns Armature Works. So the Armature Work guy is a exotic car guy. He's got, I guess, tons of cars, which is why he does the event in the morning. But last year, we literally had kind of the VIP access where they roped off spots with cones. We backed in probably, I don't know, 12 to 15 cars. These were just the one end, and then boom. Armature Works inside there is basically food in different kind of almost like a mall cafeteria, but there's tons of like way nicer places than to eat than, like, let's say the mall. we're anticipating some people coming from out of town. So what I would tell you is, for anybody that is coming from out of town, we will try to get people together Saturday night after all this is done, because we know, for instance, someone's coming from Atlanta. So for anybody that does come from like Miami or wherever, certainly we're going to do our best to be good hosts, and we'll try to get some folks together if you guys want to for Saturday night. And I think that's it. So I'll say this. I can't thank you guys enough for chiming in. Most of you will probably see this after the live session, but this is going on OLP, which is my truck podcast I do with Mike. This is also going on Lincoln Addict. Of course, I'm into the Lincolns. It's kind of weird. I'm into both, but that's kind of where my passion is. You can see my renderings back here, some of the artwork, and some of the Hot Wheels. But I can't thank you guys enough. OLP via any podcast app, of course, Lincoln Addict as well. Unfortunately, I don't have as many episodes of Lincoln Addict. I think we're around 30. But if you've been following the YouTube channel, you know that I've been doing a lot of listing reviews. A 64 just sold the other day for $89,000. I did a deep dive review on that car, which is when the auction is kind of still live. And then typically I'll do sometimes a wrap up of what the sale price is or ended at. With that being said, again, if you know anybody in or around the Tampa Bay area, or maybe you're seeing this and you go, hey, I want to come in the future, we always do this cruise the weekend before Thanksgiving. Naturally, Thanksgiving, we're going to be out at the Turkey Rod Run in Daytona. But obviously, that's like typically family weekend. So the weekend before marks JFK's visit on 11/18/63. It also allows for us to kind of get out of the house during nice weather in Florida, which November is typically awesome. I checked earlier, 0% chance of rain. So typically we're blessed with that. And we hope to see you guys out there. Again, thank you guys a lot for the support. I can't thank you enough. Take care, everyone. ODB, the Lincoln Addict. We're out of here.